Hi folks, Mark Merrill for Firm. This time, journal notes. These are desperate threats from the left-wing radicals. We're going to get right to the point. The ongoing threats from left-wing nut radicals since, approximately the Obama administration, and then of course everyone knows the entire 2016-2020 first term of President Donald Trump, from everything under the sun, from Bible scriptures in the book of Ecclesiastes, such as Russia voting involvement scandals. Yup. Mr. Trump's infidelity versus Melania. Are you kidding me? Baron Trump's harassment. Eric and Don Jr.'s threats against them and bullying them. And don't forget, folks, don't forget the beginning of the anti-Semitic attacks against Mr. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Remember? The Washingtonian first reported last week in this original publication and news story that Kushner and Trump would be moving their young family to Washington, D.C. circa January 25th, 2017. It's unclear if Kushner's role would be deemed a violation of federal anti-nepotism laws. The law states that a federal official may not appoint, employ, promote, advance, or advocate for appointment, employment, promotion, or advancement, or to a civilian position in the agency in which he is serving, or over which he exercises jurisdiction or some kind of control, any individual who is a relative of the public official. We've got an update for you here, folks. We dug it up before we published this podcast. Mr. Kushner, for much of his career, there he is, folks. Living color. Isn't that nice? For much of his career, worked as a real estate investor in New York City, especially through the family business Kushner Companies. He took over the company after his father, Charles, was convicted for 18 criminal charges, including campaign contributions that were illegal, tax evasion, and witness tampering in 2005. 19 years ago. Oh, but see, a lot of time has passed, folks. And Jared met Ivanka Trump around 2005, and they got married in 2009. He also became involved in the newspaper industry after purchasing the New York Observer in 2006. He was registered as a Democrat and donated to the Democratic politicians for much of his life. But guess what? No more. He registered as an independent in 2009 and eventually as a Republican in 2018. He played a significant role in the Trump presidential campaign in 2016 and was at one point seen as its de facto campaign manager. And around Trump's election, Mr. Kushner was frequently accused of conflicts of interest, profiting from policy proposals for which he personally advocated within the Trump administration. But you see, he became senior advisor to Trump in 2017 and held the position till Trump left office in 2021. His appointment was followed by concerns of nepotism. Here he led the administration's effort to pass the First Step Act, a criminal justice reform bill signed into law in 2018. Mr. Kushner was the primary Trump administration participant. Also, this is key, very much, folks. He was participant for the Middle East peace process, authoring Trump and his peace plan and facilitating talks that led to the signing of the Abraham Accords and other normalization agreements between Israel and various Arab states in 2020. Mr. Kushner also played an influential role in the Trump administration's COVID response. Despite initially advising Trump that the media was exaggerating the threat of the disease, which they were, he eventually became a leader in the federal effort to procure medical supplies and develop a vaccine as a founding board member on Operation Warp Speed. You may recall that one. He was a leading broker in the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, for which he was awarded honors by the Mexican government. Present day, Mr. Kushner, after leaving the White House, founded Affinity Partners, a private equity firm that derives most of its funds from Saudi government's sovereign wealth fund. Gee, I think he's done pretty well for himself, wouldn't you say, folks? Legally. So after all that's been said and done, there's the anti-constitutional and make-believe lawfare standards of the leftists and the mainstream media tagging along to enforce lawfare tyrannical mandates and Biden's executive orders for the other alphabet soup acronyms: diversity, equity, inclusion, environmental, social, or societal, and governance crap. Well, we here at Firm, folks, took matters into our own hands as well, America, and went out to physically find a piece of land with solar panels decorated near a warehouse facility a couple of miles outside the small liberal college, University College, Colby College in Waterville, Maine, to observe those pre-installed sun soakers. And now I'll give you law-abiding folks a report on just how that went down. This should be a bit eye-opening for just about everybody. I'm telling you, folks, it pretty much tells the whole story. And here it is. Hi, everyone. Mark Merrill with Firm. We are remote, but in the greater Waterville area, specifically on the Annex Building Solar Way Road, just outside the Colby campus. You can see behind me here hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of solar panels. That's our topic today, folks. So, I know this is kind of a tongue-in-cheek question, but we recently received this in the mail. Have you noticed the solar fields popping up around Maine? The Portland Press-Herald has said there's been an unprecedented wave of solar development spurs land rush in Maine. Hey, no kidding. Way to go, genius. And of all sources in the media, 92 Moose radio station says this big Augusta, Maine solar farm is about to triple in size where they are. Now, this notice, folks, was sent from the sources of pressherald.com/2021/0104. So January of 2021 is when they published this: unprecedented wave of solar development spurs land rush in Maine. That was 3.5 years ago, going on 4. And the other one is 92 Moose FM. The big Augusta, Maine solar farm is about to triple in size. While we're here, folks, we have another source from jackery.com, and it says there are pros and cons of solar energy. So we're just pointing these out as being a, shall we say, safety guard as to whether solar panels are the future or not, even though it's been pushed by Janet Mills and her cronies. The pros, ladies and gentlemen: renewable energy source. Con: expensive. Pros of solar energy: reduced electricity bills, diverse applications. The cons: weather dependent, environmental issues, installation issues. Another pro of solar energy: low maintenance cost, advanced technology, and transfer the benefits environmentally. The cons: low consumption, mobility. You can't bring it with you if you happen to move. May not be saving enough. And lastly, folks, on the pro side, as well as being environmentally friendly, it's also property value positive. Really? We'll follow up on this more, folks. Mark Merrill reporting for Firm, Fairness in Reporting Media. Don't forget to check out our podcasts on rumble.com/fairnessmedia1. Hi, everyone. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down all the time. Solar panels everywhere. If you go out on the Augusta Road from Winslow into Augusta, you can also see the land all botched up with these solar panels. You know what? 20 years goes by, folks. Those things start to deteriorate and crumble. You better contact your congresswoman or man, state and United States delegates, Pingree, King, Collins, and Jared Kushner, while you're at it. What the hell are you going to do about these things when they start crumbling and going into the groundwater? Huh? What? What are you going to do? By the way, folks, the nice little sign there was on the entrance to the barbed wire fencing where the solar panels are located on Solar Way, about a couple of miles outside of Colby College. It says, entry on company property constitutes consent for the right of the company or its authorized agents to search persons, vehicles, and personal effects. Didn't come near me. 2 people saw my car, emblazoned with Firm, defender of the First Amendment. Never got out of their car. Never told me to leave. We were lawfully parked and stood on the pavement of the road during the entire time there of the report you just saw, and never set foot or drove onto any of the gravel road leading to the front of the barbed wire fence where that sign was at all. That's for the record. So whenever the radical dictatorship and fearmongers of the Biden-Harris regime get ticked off about the law-abiding truth seekers like our organization for truth, facts, reality, and common sense, and show up to call out the lies and despicable behavior against the Constitution and the laws of the state of Maine, for that matter, in this case, it's just another way of showing all of America how really threatened we are, but should always speak up and show these lunatics what honest, hard-working, real investigative journalists like yours truly and Firm, Fairness in Reporting Media News Group, are all about. What is it? Getting law and order under the Bill of Rights and U.S. Constitution back in the mainstream news cycles. That's what it's all about. And tear down the MSNBCs, CNNs, and Washington Posts and New York Times and throw their opinions in lawfare out in the trash and burn them for a change. Now. Thank you for joining us, folks. As always, as you can see right here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we are Firm. Our podcast there at rumble.com/fairnessmedia1, Twitter, YouTube, and email us anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Peace to all. Vote. Safe travels.